Whoa. Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another live show. This time it's not just me or just Julian or just Justin. I'm joined by Norbert today for the post day slash whatever you want to call it, live show after we beat Sporting in the Europa League quarterfinals. So we're going to talk about that, obviously. We're going to talk about Gatti, as you can see in the thumbnail, and also maybe a preview to next week as well, Sporting, but also to the verdict on the 15 points, because I think that's kind of important for us. But before we get into all of that, how are you doing?
Well, not well after yesterday, to be honest. Nothing to celebrate, everything to lose in the away game. So, really scary how we play. So, yeah, not too well.
Yeah, we might as well get straight into that, uh, into the game basically, because we won, and I started off my reaction by being positive because it's still a win, so I'll take the win because I said I'll just take any win at this point until the end of the season, because nothing is going to change. Like there won't be a massive change in how we will play or how we will dominate approach games, whatever. So I said I'll take the win, which I did. Um, so I was positive about that. Also about a player we will discuss later on. But other than that, if I were a Sporting fan, I will be very, like, waking up, I will be very disappointed that, we lost the game we shouldn't have lost. Like, we should have probably won, if we're being completely honest. But we didn't. So I'll be pissed if I were a Sporting fan. Now, I'll take the win. But it was bad. It was like, it's bad when we played 4 games after the international break. Verona, Inter, Lazio, and Sporting, and it's bad when I can recall every single shit shot on target. Then it's bad. I've been saying it for months, and that's why I don't like stats, because I had a big discussion or debate, and people use stats. That's good. Stats help. But what does your eye test tell you? If we don't, and I looked it up, by the way, if we don't create chances, if not from set pieces or crosses. So I looked it up. Our chance creation yesterday, besides set pieces, one was 0.21 or something. You know how bad that is. Like that's so bad. That's that's actually nothing. Like, let's be completely honest, that's nothing. You know, because people like stats. Like, I didn't need that stat to know we had nothing, because that goal was our chance. Like, that was everything in that game. We had nothing, and that's my biggest problem. Like, playing bad, yes, but you can still play bad and be dangerous somehow. Like, we don't look dangerous. We only look dangerous when we are in desperation mode, and we just, you know, throw the kitchen sink at it, and it looks the best ever when we do that. Last 15 minutes against Lazio, it looked good, But for the other 75 minutes, you could have been down a couple of goals. Like, you got away with it. That's my biggest issue. Like, playing bad, I get it. We were playing bad under Pirlo the second part of the season, in my opinion. But we were creating chances. We were just all over the place defensively. Like, it wasn't a group anymore. It was just go out there and whatever. But we were creating chances. We don't create anything. That's my biggest issue, especially yesterday, because we still need to go away from home. I have no idea, because I watched the Arsenal game away from home. They struggled to create anything, and they should have lost that game very easily. They got away with it. I don't think we will get away with it next week. That's my issue, because I don't think we have enough to counteract what they will probably throw at us at home. That's my biggest issue with yesterday. One of the biggest issues, that there was nothing again. No creation on goal. Like, nothing.
Yeah, what you said about what was it 0.21 goals xg per game? That's usually what 20 minutes for a normal team.
That
Within 20 minutes, they muster that much sg. Sorry, xg. We are not dangerous. We can't build up anything. Counterattacks, nothing. It's really sad. You They can attack Vlahovic, whatever, but even if Haaland would be up front or whoever, the ball just doesn't get to him. Like it doesn't matter. Nothing. Super
no,
sad.
because I don't want to bring up the Vlahovic discussion again, but Milik yesterday was terrible. You know,
Yeah,
he was terrible, and you still have people saying, "Oh, but I still rather have that than Vlahovic." He was terrible. Like at one point in the game, I forgot he was still on the pitch. Like I did, and again, that's not a shot at Milik because I do like Milik. I have no problem with Milik, but I think that was the proof that it's not a player. And again, you can throw out stats, and people do that. Oh, but Keane and Milik have more goals per minute. What does the eye test tell you? Like, come on,
yeah,
like be completely honest. It's not a play. Like, yes, he needs to do better, and even Milik needed to do better yesterday. But look how we play. We lay the ball off to our strikers. They lay it off, but they don't get it back anymore. Have you noticed that? Like, you need to focus on that. I don't know how many times they try to lay off the ball and make the run, but the ball just never comes back again. And I'm like, okay, what's the point? Like, what is actually the point? Because yesterday, Di Maria was picking up the ball in front of our box. I couldn't believe it. Chiesa was trying to rip up 40-meter runs to create anything. I'm like, that's not sustainable, man. Like you need to get the ball to those type of players higher up on the pitch. Like they don't need to drop in that deep consistently, because the time they take on a few men, it's done. Like they're gassed out or it's just too much. Like it's way too much, and that's my biggest issue. Again, yesterday, like there was besides the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes where there was good intention, we didn't give them any time on the ball. For all the good intentions we showed, we created absolutely nothing. Even worse, they created the best chance within our best moment. And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do about that? That setup, by the way, wasn't good. Like two-man midfield, they were getting cooked in that first half. Like I felt sad for Locatelli and Rabiot. Like I really felt for them. But again, switch to back four. The fullbacks are just poor. Like they're not good. They're really poor. So it's a difficult situation. But on the flip side, I'm like, but you gave the Chilio a deal. You want to keep Alexandra for another year. Like you're part of the issue. Like I don't think you can really complain about it then. Like we are creating the problem, in my opinion. Um,
yeah. Really, Chiesa. So with Chiesa yesterday, so he was the only danger. Like in reality, he was the only danger. And how he started at the game, you could feel that progressively. You could felt that progressively he gets more comfortable with. Uh, his mind is still about the injury. You could tell from the beginning he was like really like okay, just a little bit fast, and then at the end he was doing those 40-meter sprints. And yeah, he was the only danger yesterday. So yeah, there's no way they practice any tactics or any build up play during trainings. There's no way.
no, there are absolutely no parents. Like you don't see anything. Like it's 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 actually boring to talk about because it's not going to change, and I've been doing this alone for a couple of months now. Julian and Justin are coming back slowly, but it was so tough to do it because I was like, I'm gonna before I start recording, I'm like, I'm gonna say the same thing again. Like it's
Yeah,
it's just the same thing. And like at one point, people are gonna stop watching because it's boring, and I understand that. But nothing is changing. Like there's absolutely nothing that gets you up. If you know what I mean. Like I'll watch the games and I'll keep watching the games because you're a fan. But it's not that I'm looking forward to a game anymore. because I know what's gonna happen. Like I know previous years, yeah, we're gonna win, but how we're gonna win is gonna be a couple of goals. You're gonna win. Now it's gonna be bad. Like it's gonna be hard. Yesterday was hard to watch.
Hmm.
Like it was so like in the back of my mind while we were playing, I was like, how are we gonna get that result away from home? How? And even if we do, surely Man U are gonna beat us. They drew 2-2, but that was ridiculous what happened in that game. But I was like, how are we gonna manage to do that? Like if like my confidence in that this team is so low. Like it's actually sad. Like I feel bad that I've such a low confidence in this group of players, and coaching staff, whatever. Because what do you want? Like it's just bad. Like it's bad, and I don't see improvement. There are a few positives, and we'll talk about that as well. But overall, I'm like, this is not good, And when people bring up stats as, oh, but defensively we're improving, we're on pace to have our worst season since the first Conte season. Like, if you like stats, but I didn't need a stat to know that. Like, I have eyes, I can see it. I've been told yesterday that Allegri is overachieving. I think that's bullshit. Like, that's absolutely crap. Like, I will not take that. I won't. Oh, but Chiesa has been injured. We knew Chiesa was injured before the start of the season, and still Allegri came out and say we need to compete. We are absolutely nowhere near competing. Um, our squad is Milan's squad is miles better than ours, which is also a lie. It's not. Like Pioli is doing a ridiculous job. Even last season, I still can't believe he made that team win the title. I just can't. I have Milan fans, they still can't believe it that happened. They can't because that team is not good. They don't have a good squad. So you can say one thing, and on the flip side, you have people saying the opposite. So it's split now. But I think even the biggest, you know, I don't call it Allegri lovers or whatever because I don't hate Allegri. At some point, you just need to tell you what is the eye test telling you. The eye test is telling you we don't look good. We don't we rely heavily on individual brilliance or set pieces or something like that. We don't create enough chances, and you can blame Vlahovic all you want. If we play like this next season, you can have, like you said, Haaland up top. He's not scoring goals. Like he's just not. And when I had to discuss with Julian about Mbappe, and he said, yeah, he will have a great impact. I don't think so. Yes, he will have a few more goals here and there because he's that talented, but we're terrible. Like we are actually terrible going forward. Like you said in the first minutes, we can counterattack. I remember yesterday in the first few minutes, where Milik just needed to lay it off to Di Maria. He took a shot. Rabiot needed to square it. He took a shot, and I'm like, oh boy, you guys don't train, because if you train, you feel what a player is without even actually watching. If you know what I mean. Like if you play
Yeah.
football and you play with the same people over and over again, you know when I'm in this position, 9 out of 10 times he's gonna be there. I just need to put it there somewhere. He's gonna get there because you know how you're playing. Look at Liverpool when they were clicking. You knew De Bruyne when he puts in a cross. Players know where that ball is coming. It's all automatic at one point. We are not like that at this moment in time. We're just not. You can see it with everything, like the small things, like you said. The counterattacks. That's the biggest issue with me. Okay, you sit back, you play bad, but at least be good at that because you have the players for it. But
Yeah,
nobody.
if you defend, like, come on, then you have a weapon. Like, you need to train defending and counterattacks. But like, come on, this is I don't even know. I don't think we played this bad when we played in the Intertoto Cup with Grigera and all that, Kovacevic and all that
Oh, that
stuff,
was that was bad as well.
That
That
was
was
bad,
bad.
but I swear we played better or something. This I would rather lose 4-2 than not creating chances like with Pirlo. Like I'm depressed. I don't know.
You know what it is? This if you want to be back to the top, this is not sustainable. Like this is not gonna be it. Like it's not. It's just not gonna work. You know, because it's very easy to counterattack or to, you know, yeah, to beat. Like we are easily, like we can be easily beat. We can, and I believe next week it will happen. Like I don't have a good feeling about it. I think 1-0 is not enough. Like 1-0 is nothing. Like that can be 1-1 really really quickly, and then what? You
A
know,
red card. A red card can save us.
but but even like you can play within 5 minutes and the ball hits the hand. You know how penalties get called. It's 1-1 within 5 minutes. Do you think this team has what it takes to go out there and win away? I don't. We have been better away from home than at home, which is ridiculous. But still, you know, um, that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, and you know that stadium in Lisbon will be fire. That stadium will be on fire for sure.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think we have enough to match that. Personally, that's just my opinion. But enough for now about the negative talk a little bit. um, I want to talk about one player because that's a thumbnail, and I isolated him at the beginning of the season because I isolated him for one thing. I love this energy, but he was using it wrongly. Like he was being too emotional. I think he said that even yesterday. Like he played at 100% every single minute of the game, which I like. I'll take that. But he gave me Demiral vibes, where I'm like, you don't need to tackle a player there. Just, you know, stand still, stand behind him. Like those type of things, being very rash, in the challenges. I'm like, in stupid areas, in moments where you just need to cool down, chill out, whatever. That was my biggest issue. Now the last month he has been excellent. Like I'm shocked. Like I'm actually shocked because defensively he's good, but on top of that, on the ball, surprisingly, he's great. Like he looks great on the ball. Like it it it's better than Chiellini on the ball. Like I'm not gonna compare him with Chiellini because to have a career like Chiellini, well, you need to be great, like absolutely excellent. But on the ball, because we're comparing it with Chiellini in terms of intensity and all those things, the way he play. But on the ball, Gatti looks looks very good, especially on the sidelines, like short space. You can shield the ball. You can move up the pitch, and I'm shocked. Like I didn't saw this coming. Did you? Because I'm shocked.
Yeah. Okay. So if you say that in a few years back that okay, one of the best players on in our team form wise is a defender, I say okay, we have a Chiellini, we had a good Bonucci back in the days, um, but now, yeah, as you said, how he started, it was really shaky and he was really a rush and wow, I wanna tackle, wow. And now it's crazy. He's our best player right now, form wise, obviously. He has heart every time he tackles or every time it's not a goal. He's like super stoked about it, and he has that something in front of the goal as well. It's not the first time that he was there somewhere around the ball inside the 6 yard box, and this time he scored. Uh, yeah, I really like him. I like he has the grinta, he actually has it, but apparently he has brain as well, which I didn't think he will have, but he's growing on me for sure, and I'm really happy about it. Bremer and him looks like that can be good for the future.
Actually, ever since Gatti stepped up, Bremer looks much better. He looks much at ease. I think it looks like he doesn't have the feeling that I need to do it. Like if I'm not
Yeah,
good, no. Like he
yeah,
looks good.
yeah. One of the best thing you can tell about the defender is that you don't say their name. And Bremer, like I didn't even notice that he's on the pitch. He it's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. Like if Gatti didn't score that goal, it would probably would have Bremer be the man of the match. Then again, you can say two defenders, maybe the goalkeeper, man of the match. But you know, that's who we are, I guess. But even Bremer looks very good with him alongside him. Now we know Bremer is better in the back three. So, but even we played a back three most of the time this season. And when Gatti was not playing, I came on and said I like Bremer, but he's not having a fantastic season. And I still believe that. You know, there's still been many issues. You know, moments where I'm like, ooh, you know, that's you need to clean that up. You know, that cannot happen that many times, if you know what I mean. But overall, that could be an option. Which the follow up question is, what now? And like, Sandro's getting a new deal. If we stick with a back three, in my opinion, it's completely pointless. It's pointless anyway. Like that is gonna stay, but you still have Bonucci and Rugani. Like, um, is Rugani finally gonna leave? It's his last year, like following year. I think he has 1 year left on his deal, but he's on 3.5 million. That's the biggest issue. And what about Bonucci? Like, is the club gonna be ruthless and be like, please go to the MLS or whatever, just do something other than, you know, sticking around? Because I still, you know what it is? I want to say, yes, we have Gatti and Bremer doing well, and you can have Danilo as a backup center back, and you can bring in Hoyson, and maybe the winter comes back, whatever. But I still have a feeling we're gonna play back three, and then I'm not sure about the cover we have, because I don't know how the winter is gonna respond. I don't know if Hoyson is gonna be ready mid-season, you know, to to pick it up and step up, you know, and be that guy. That's why I'm very hesitant in terms of, do we still need another defender coming in? You know, pay money for another defender. That's my biggest issue, because if Bonucci was still good on a 1 year, I'm like, yeah, bring on the kids, you know, and then you move on Bonucci. But every single time Bonucci played this season, like, he puts fear in me. Like, he's not good. Like, he's absolutely done.
And he got so slow. He got so slow. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So defender. Someone has to leave. Otherwise, there is no point. Hoysten should have some chances to show that he is able to play, even though he's really, really, really young. Um, uh, yeah, Rugani and Bonucci. If anyone gets in, like if Bremer or Gatti gets injured, I know that Bonucci and Rugani are different type of players. I don't know what type of player Rugani is, to be honest, but Bonucci is a ball playing a defender, not as not good anymore. So if someone gets injured, then it's bare bones. It's done. Someone needs to come, but our wage budget is insane. Why are we doing this? I don't understand. Like, is it Allegri asking the leadership to, okay, Sandro, I want Sandro more than anything. Oh, I want Cuadrado, even though I think he will leave, but like, oh, I want him as well. And I don't know. It's crazy, and I don't think we will spend money. We don't know if we get minus 30 points from this wages stuff, and we don't know. It's crazy. Yeah.
According to Romeo, because he was today on the All Juve cast, you know, and he was talking, and I don't know who asked, because I I was at work, so I was dropping in and out. But he was asked about, are we gonna sign players? Are we gonna do deals in the summer? And he was like, it depends on the Champions League, you know. So if you're gonna get Champions League, maybe. Then you have Calvo saying pre-game, we have money enough, you know, or like money enough. The club is solid enough to even overcome that. I don't think that's true at this moment in time. I don't think it is. We need that Champions League. We will talk about that later on a little bit. But he also said Cuadrado is gonna be done, and he should be done, because even yesterday, man, I remember in the second half he was. And that's so typical of Cuadrado now, this moment in time. He was in the box, or like he was approaching the box, and he could have put that ball in the box maybe 3 times, And instead of doing that, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna dribble, and he lays it back. And I'm like, what? Like with all the momentum gone, everyone from Sporting back, and you have Di Maria with the ball halfway midfield, looking around and be like, okay, what now? Like it's the drop off from Cuadrado is insane. It's bad. It's just it's hard to watch as well. Just to see him play, it's just poor. Like the quality is poor. And when you say that, people say, "Oh, but he's been a good servant." Yes, but I'm not disputing that. Like there comes a time when it's done. Like every player has an expiring date where it's done. You're not good enough for the level anymore. It happens with everyone. So why why should we be sitting here like, oh, but he's been good for the club? Okay, fine. I don't hate Cuadrado. When it's done, it's done. That's all I'm saying. Um, do I still think Allegri will walk at the end of the season? Less, but I still believe that's a chance in my opinion. Rugani's a good sub, not more, not less. Yeah, but he's on too much money to be just a good sub. To play 6, 7 games a season, like that's just not worth it anymore, in my opinion. We need a left-footed defender for the left side. Yeah, well, we knew that for 2 years now.
We need many things.
Yeah. Let me see. 80% of the current team isn't ready for top tier teams like Bayern, City, PSG, and stuff. Might be true. They all the ball too long, and no one makes runs off the ball. Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning. And we won't be when Rugani gets out. Reduce his wage, keep him as a forward sub. Nope, get him out. I don't want it. Like what? We loaned Rugani out for a reason. Even was it Ran? I think it was Ran. Was like no thanks, goodbye. Like how is he good enough to be even a sub? Like same for De Chilio. Get them out of the club. Like it's been too long. Like these players, it's been too long. He can be on €1 a year. I don't care. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
To accept. It has no impact. Ford sub. The Ford sub can be Hoysen or the Winter. That should be the case. Not Rugani, who we send away. I don't know how many times. Doesn't play, has a few good games, and then in key moments, like a comment is saying, a disaster. I don't want that. That's filling up a spot for a young player who can develop within the team and is probably 10 times as cheap, even less than the 1.5 million from the Chilio. That's all I'm saying. Just no, just done. The only reason. Okay, but again, kick out Rugani, bring in Hoysen, bring in the Winter. If you're still fourth choice and you only play 6 games a season, you'll probably be okay with the Winter. Playing 6 games against Cremonese and Spezia or whatever, you'll probably be fine. You should be fine. You should be fine. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Rugani in Champions League nights, that's something I don't want to see anymore. I know, Aldo, you were talking about Sandro and Cuadrado, but even Sandro, you have Cambiaso. Like, why did you pay money for Cambiaso? Like, do I rate him highly? No, he's playing better after the World Cup break, but then bring him in. And kick Alexandro €6.5 million. Cambiaso's maybe not even on €1 million if you like cheap wages.
And Sandro is not even a wing back anymore. He can't play on the
he's not even a fullback.
sides.
He can play in a back 3 when he's covered. That's all. And even then, when second post coverage it's ridiculous. Like against Savic. Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? Like, just head the ball away. Like, why are you making it so difficult for yourself? Why are you putting yourself in that position? I don't get it. I'll never get it. Will you take Parisi and Fresneda in the summer? Well, yeah. But probably not going to happen, especially in Fresneda. Parisi's having a great season, by the way.
But Fresneda is going Premier League.
Yeah, I agree with that. think he's going Premier League. But we do need like money, no money, Champions League or no Champions League. We need fresh blood. You know, as Romeo was talking about, should you give Di Maria a contract? If you do, you put the youth back or like the development back, and I'm like, the development of who? Because we have nobody in that place. You have Sule, but he's again back playing with under 23s like Ealing Jr. So if the plan was um, developing Sule this season behind Di Maria, Cuadrado, whatever you want to call it, I thought that was a plan, but we didn't. So Sule is not even ready for next season. So are you gonna sign Di Maria to a new deal or what? Like, what is Plan B if you don't have money to buy? Like, what is Plan B? Because Romeo said you might, that might be a problem for development, but development of who? Like, we're not using anyone, so I don't know who we are stopping to develop. Like, whose development are we stopping? Am I missing something? Because there is nobody else. Now, if Sule was there, playing weekend, playing a lot of games, playing good minutes, let's say 50% of the minutes this season, then I'm like, I need to think about it. Maybe yes, but he's not. So it's Di Maria or who at this point? Who? Somebody in the chat, let me know, because I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. So you're gonna keep Di Maria unless you somehow have a bag of money we don't know about and you're gonna sign players. Other than that, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Aldo saying, I agree, Cambiasso looks good. I'm worried about his injuries. Yeah, I'm more worried about Rovela's injuries, to be honest. Alexander, yes, he's our left center back at the moment, only because he's left-footed. Danilo is shaky. Yeah, Danilo's not good at left. I agree. Have you counted how many passes we made wrong yesterday? No, but I'm pretty sure Locatelli was a big part of that. And again, Locatelli, I don't want to see him as a DM next summer. Like next season, I don't, because I think he's better somewhere else, because you can see what he can do on the ball. Yes, not yesterday. I thought yesterday he wasn't good on the ball. Actually, he was terrible at times on the ball. Defensively, he was okay, but he has very high-level games, and then he has games where I'm like, what? Like, that's a big gap. That's my only issue with that. Like, I need some sort of balance, consistency. He had that for a couple of games, and then boom. It happens a bit too often, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had it to 4 games in a row or something, and then the drop.
Gaetano saying Parisi is an average player. I don't agree with that. I don't. I think he's very good. I think he can be excellent. I do believe that. But yeah. I don't think we should be playing with the Regista at all, to be honest. Well, I think we can all agree on that, but that's what we are doing. It's back. I think I've said it before. I think Allegri's still pissed he didn't get Isco and not even Saponara at the time, because I remember he wanted Isco and there was some other guy, I forgot his name, and then I was like, oh, but we're gonna get you Saponara, and he was like, okay. He didn't even get Saponara, which is fine, but he wanted a certain position and he didn't get it, and it feels like he's just using, like he said, even Fagioli can play Regista, which I think tells you his obsession with playing a Regista, or just playing every player out of position. Like Miretti, he's a mezzala. He's playing all over the pitch. Talking about Junior using as a mezzala. What about using those players in their position and then see? Just let them play in their own position, and then you will see what happens. If he's not good enough, maybe you can give it a go as a mezzala. What about doing that first? But yeah. If Pogba can start soon, we can use his command off the field. But
doesn't matter.
On the field, I guess. No?
It doesn't matter.
I said about Pogba, just wake me up when he starts the game. Like, I will be excited when he starts the game. Now, yesterday he came on, like, commitment. Yesterday he came on, he was committed because he made a crucial interception. Now, when he did that, I was like, he's injured. Like, that was wow, But if he's fit, he's gonna up the level, no matter how poor we play, because he's just quality, like his talent. That's it. So we will up the play. Technically, it will look much cleaner in midfield. This is just what it is. But again, just wake me up when he starts the game. Other than that, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like I'm not up for that. Uh,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Come on, like we
no,
can
the
we can
season
always
is
find.
almost.
Yeah, we can always find something to point at, like, oh, this one injured, oh, that one injured. But it doesn't matter. Allegri is the coach. It doesn't matter. With Pogba, nothing major would change. I'm telling you, there's no way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I agree. Like we put him in that position because Paredes flopped, and that's it. That's the reason. Aldo was happy. Chiesa played 90 minutes. I agree. Almost. I was surprised. I'm happy for that. That gets me excited
Yeah,
because it
and
looked at times it looked like the old Chiesa where he was like,
yeah,
I'm not scared. I'm gonna make that run. That first minute chance where he just stops the ball, cuts and takes a quick shot. I'm like, that's Chiesa. That was missing. So knock on wood. But yeah, he can be the difference maker if he's 100 because he's not 100% fit still.
it's in his head.
It's in his head. He needs to overcome that. But even fitness level, like he hasn't played much, in and out, in and out. So he's not 100%. But you can see if he's on it, he's on it, and it's very difficult to stop him because he's like a train. Like you put something in front, he's just gonna run through it, and he keeps going. That's what I do like about him. Which is a positive as well, yesterday. And Gatti, obviously. But yeah, the other thing I want to discuss before we end it is the 15 points because next week we get the verdict. We need those 15 points back. Like at one point I was like, we're just gonna make top 4 even without those 15 points. But after losing to Lazio and the way they are still playing, it's not gonna happen. We need those 15 points back. We absolutely need. If you want to get back to the top 4 with that, you need those 15 points back. Now, if we get those 15 points back, we're probably going to get any punishment from points back from the wage thing, in my opinion, because it's based on the same article, which is no rule. It's not a rule. It's based on the article. To put it in a few words, in a couple of words, it's basically saying you're not being, how should I put it, honest, if I can say it like that. It doesn't say rule 4, article 4.1 says you get 15 points because you did this. It's not. It's based on, you haven't been honest. So if you get 15 points back, you have proven that, there is absolutely no rule. You're basing it on maybe this, maybe that, maybe not, or phone wiretaps that have absolutely no proof because you can talk whatever you want, in wiretaps. So if you get those 15 points back, I think there's a big chance of any punishment that will be declined in terms of points, maybe fines and all those stuff. But Article 4 is basically, we're going to try to punish you, but we don't have anything really. So Article 4, based on honesty or like something like that. So who knows if we get those 15 points back, but we need those 15 points back, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's so silly. It's so silly. It's so obvious that they're trying to punish us, like out of European football. Like for no real reason. It's not a sporting issue. It's some financial mishap. Punish us, I don't know, 5 million euros or something. It's crazy that they took the 15 points after, I don't know how many minutes was that. They started this whole trial or whatever, and they just said, boom, 15 points by. Like, it's insane. It's
Oh, they
insane.
asked 9. We got
Yeah,
15.
yeah. Ugh, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's Article 4 is basically based on kind of nothing. It's not, I don't know, like if a rule says, well, you put a wrong number in the wrong column, well, there's a rule. You cannot do that, or whatever. Like, there's not, like, it's all based on you've been on like not honest and something like that. Like really vague description where it's very easy to say, yeah, 15 points based on this, but there's no rule. But yeah, based on this. Very strange. But Let's see next week if we'll get those 15 points. We need those 15 points back. Um, we need those 15 points back for sure. Katana said you would renew Di Maria and Milik. I wouldn't. They're not physically, no physical guarantees. Both played very bad yesterday.
It's on Allegri.
If we have money, I wouldn't. We don't, and we don't have replacements lined up. We have players to come in to be the fourth choice center back to replace Cambiaso. We do. Are they good enough? Who knows? We have nothing. If Di Maria's gone, yeah, you have Sule, but only Sule because Cuadrado's also going. Depending on the formation you're playing, we have nothing. Like you don't, unless you have money. Then I would say yes. But I was expecting that when we signed Di Maria. I was like, we're gonna use Sule, and then next season we're gonna bring someone in. That's not the case. So what are you gonna do? You okay? Goodbye, Sule, Di Maria. Goodbye, Milik. What now? You have Keane, Vlahovic, and Chiesa up top. What are we gonna do? Unless you tell me we have 50 million euros or more, then I'm like, okay, fine, but we don't. We don't. That's why I'm like, you have no choice. It's bad planning. We have no choice at this moment in time. We do have a choice when it comes to Sandro or Rugani. That's all I'm saying. The S9, yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to discuss on the Friday. Tomorrow there will be a preview, pre-recorded again, from Julian. So stay tuned for that. Sunday I will do a live show probably, post game, a couple of hours after the game. So join me for that one. And then next week, yeah, it's back back to stressing, I guess. No? Sporting away. And then the Napoli game, which I'm going to the stadium. So I'm out a couple of days for that game. I chose that way back. But like, it is what it is. So I'm going to that game, but the big game is obviously on Thursday. Now, if we get news, we don't get the 15 points back. Well, that's a big blow ahead of a crucial game because that. No.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm positive about the 15 points. I think in Italy it's really hard to get justice, especially if you're Juventus. But I want to believe that this time we will get justice and we will get back the points. And yeah, Champions League, here we come next year. Yay!
Yeah. I was saying Kostic, Ealing for the left, Chiesa and Sully on the right. I'd rather see Chiesa on the left. That's me personally. I'd rather see that. That's just my personal opinion. But Kostic is not. Depending on the formation you're gonna play, he's not gonna take on this guy. He's gonna beat the player. Like so, I don't think if that's enough, in my opinion. You know what I think about Kostic. He's not that type of player.
Yeah,
so
it's enough
again.
Yeah, this this could only work in a 4-3-3, and Kostic is not a player who can play up front as a left winger. He's perfect as a wingback because of his engine and his crosses are amazing. But to be a good actual winger or inside forward, you need to dribble, you need to beat your man, and he's not capable. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. Last question. What do you think about the partial stadium ban for Napoli suspended? Apparently, it's not 100% sure. They are going to say yes or no the day before the game, which is absolutely ridiculous because tickets have been sold, but that's Italy. But I do agree it should be open because the club, there are certain protocols. If things happen, the club should be alerted during the game. They didn't do that. And post-game, the club found the people because they have the technology in the stadium and they still get the ban, So the club appealed and they got proven right, They didn't get a heads up, of the protocol. The protocol was not in place. Usually people at the stadium, they alert persons at the club and then the protocol starts. But the club banned the players like they usually do. Banning an entire stands for a few idiots, it's never going to work. Like, it makes no sense. It's only gonna make things worse, especially when the club has the technology to find the player. You can go to the stadium now, day after, give your seat number into a side, and you can have pictures of yourself during the game, taken random from every seat in the place. Like that's the stadium at this moment in time. So it's ridiculous. On the flip side, the stadium is that. If if the stand is open or closed, it's not gonna make a difference. There's no atmosphere. It's terrible. The Napoli supporters were protesting against De Laurentiis because he banned flags, drums, and all those things. They protested for a couple of weeks, and what happened? De Laurentiis said, "You know what? Bring everything in. Flags, drums, bring it in again. Done." This is going on for 3 years now or something. It's ridiculous. It's poor. Like the stadium is that big games. It's absolutely that. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So on that or not, it's not gonna make a big difference. It's just terrible, and I think it's gonna take even a couple of more years before something happens because both parties are very stubborn. So I don't think the club is gonna be like, you know what, guys, do your thing again. Or the other side is gonna be, you know what, we're gonna work with you and we're gonna limit this, this, and this.
But
That's
wait,
not how it's gonna
this
happen.
time the curva is not there because of the police. No, they said
Yeah, the
because how
police.
the police.
Yeah, the police banned everything basically. The Turin police banned everything. But as a club, you own the stadium. You say yes or no, and the club is agreeing with the police. That's the biggest issue. They're not trying to help out that part of the stadium to bring back the atmosphere. That's the biggest issue. The police said no banners. Some banners or words, like I'm not gonna name the groups, they're not allowed even on T-shirts to come into the stadium because the name is banned for a couple of years apparently. But they're also saying no drums, no you say megaphones, whatever, all those things, nothing. And the club is basically agreeing with it. That's a big issue.
I thought,
The club is not fighting it.
yeah, I thought it would change with Agnelli being gone, but yeah,
No,
nothing changed.
but something needs to happen. Like it's just terrible. Like I cannot understand how you as a board member can be in the stadium and be like, this is a great experience. It's not. Like it's not. Like even if you're 10 years old, you go to the stadium. If the stadium is rocking, that will stay longer with you in your mind than going to the stadium and it's quiet as hell. Like you're gonna forget that game really quickly. But if the stadium is rocking, you're gonna remember that forever as a kid.
Yeah, you posted the Milan game, how the choreography was awesome, and
But even away games, I know somebody who goes to away games. It's amazing. Like
yeah,
away games are amazing because they're allowed to bring in stuff away, or they do. You know, it's amazing. Like it's absolutely amazing. But at home, there's nothing. And it's just not fun. It's not fun. I'm only assuming for the players as well. It gives you a boost when you're struggling and you get pushed forward. You can do some things more than when the stadium is just flat. When the team is flat. Yeah, it's gonna stay flat. So I don't think it's gonna be resolved anytime quickly because they're all stubborn for their own reasons, and you probably know how it works. It's not gonna be tomorrow happy days. It's not gonna be like this. It's gonna be a while, I believe,
yeah,
for this get resolved. But it is what it is, I guess. Gonna wrap this up because it's very late, almost midnight. Again, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks you, Norbert, for coming on and joining. I said we need to do this more often. I'm gonna do more often now because Justin and Julian are back, so I can do different stuff. So more members are gonna come on more regularly because that was always the purpose of the channel. So stay tuned for that. If you want to join, you can become a member, join the Discord group. You can join and we can have a discussion if you want. You don't need to. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Justin's preview tomorrow, and then join me on Sunday for the post game for the Sassuolo game.